Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs, let your eyes close, and give yourself a few moments to come into your breath. Feel the crown of your head nice and tall, and just come into your own body. Notice any tight spaces or sore spaces you might be holding on to. Pull your shoulders back and down, and feel the sides and back of your neck get really long. Keep your breath going, maybe getting a little bit longer in both directions. Blink your eyes open and flip your toes so you're sitting on your toes for a foot stretch, and then take a twist. Bring your left hand to your right thigh, bring your right hand to your right heel and press your hips up, and then reach your left arm up overhead. Lower your hips down and circle this around the opposite direction so your left hand can come to your left heel and your right arm can come up and over. And we'll take this 2 more times in each direction. The right hand comes down, the left arm comes up and over. And then release. Take it over to the left side, getting a little more loose through the back and through the fronts of the hips. And last go around here, maybe feel like you could press the hips a little further forward. And then bring it up and over to the left, open through the chest. And slowly bring your hips back down. From here, stand up tall, so you're standing on your knees. Reach your fingertips straight forward and then start to hinge your body back. And then bring yourself forward. So we're getting a little bit deeper into the abdominals here, and you're gonna start to feel a lot more work through the fronts of the quads. Keep your toes tucked under to give yourself a little more support and balance. And tip yourself back as far as you can go. Try to keep your head and your knees in the same line. Knit your rib cage together. Feel your abdominals start to work. Feel the fronts of your thighs start to kick on. And after your 5th time, bring yourself down to a tabletop position. Bring your hands all the way down to the mat. Shoulders right over the wrists and start to move through your cat and cow. On your inhale, arch through your spine and lift your chin. And on your exhale, round through your spine, pull your chin to chest. And continue to move through these 2 about 5 times. Start to match breath to movement. A little more fluidity through your spine. Really press down into your palms. And after your 5th set, bring yourself back to a neutral spinal position. Take 1 more set here. And then from your neutral spinal position, extend your right leg back long behind you. Flip your left toes under, and then bend your elbows and bring your chin and your chest down to the ground. Your elbows will bend straight behind you. Now from here, press into your hands, lift your torso, pull your right knee to your chest, and then lift your left knee up off the ground. Hover here. And then we repeat, lower the back knee, bend your elbows, bring the chest and the chin down. Press into your palms, pull the right knee to your chest, and lift your left knee up off the ground. And 1 final time, lower the knee, lower your chin and your chest, reach your right leg up. And on your exhale, pull your right knee to your chest, lift your back knee. And then find a 3-legged dog, send your right leg up into the air. And from here, you can bend your top right knee, open your hip. Take any small or big movements that might feel good in the joints of your right leg. And then lower your right foot into a downward facing dog. Roll yourself forward to a plank position and lower your knees down to the ground. We're gonna take everything on the 2nd side. So extend your left leg back long behind you, bend your elbows, and then lower your chest and lower your chin down to the ground. Now press into your hands, pull your left knee into your chest, and try to bring your bottom right knee up off the ground. So it takes a little bit of core power here. We're gonna take that 2 more times. So once again, lower your back knee, bend your elbows as you extend your left leg, bring your chest and your chin to the ground, and then press into your hands, pull your knee to your chin, lift your back knee. And we'll do this 1 more time. Extend your left leg, lower your chest and your chin, Press into your hands, pull your knee to your chest, lift your back knee, and now find your three-legged dog. Send your left leg up into the air, and then bend your left knee and open your hip. Evenly press down into both of your palms. You can roll through your ankle if that feels good. And then come back to a downward facing dog. Take a moment of breath here in your downward facing dog. And then bring your gaze up towards your fingers and walk your feet forward. Bend your knees and slowly roll yourself all the way up to stand. Think of stacking through your vertebrae. Your shoulders, chin, and gaze will be last to arrive. Once you get here, reach your arms up overhead and lift your heels up off the ground. So coming into a high releve. We're gonna move this into a hinge. Try to keep your heels lifted, bend your knees, and send your torso back. So kind of that same sensation that we already found in your kneeling position, but now we're moving to a standing position. Bring yourself all the way up to stand and then lower your heels with control and forward fold. I'm gonna take that 4 more times. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll yourself up to stand, reach your arms up, and then lift your heels right away. Bend your knees and send your torso back, coming into your hinge. Make sure that your knees are tracking right over your toes. Find control on your inhale, lift your torso again. On your exhale, lower your heels, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale, reach your fingers forward, lift your heels up off the ground. On your exhale, hinge it back, bend your knees, and tip your torso back. Find that perfect bit of balance. Maybe you go a little further back this time. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, lower the heels, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more times, moving with breath. Inhale, reach your arms straight forward. Come all the way up to stand. Lift your heels up off the ground. Exhale, bend your knees and hinge your body back. Next, inhale, straighten up through your knees. Keep your heels lifted for just another moment. And on your exhale, lower the heels, forward fold, swan dive down. 1 more set. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold. Bend your knees, bring yourself up to stand, reach the arms forward and lift your heels up off the ground. And now hinge your body back, bend your knees. Find that perfect amount of balance, find that work through the core. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, wide arm forward fold, lower your heels, bring it down. Inhale for halfway lift and exhale to fold forward. From here, send your left foot far back behind you so you're in a lunge position. Lower your back knee, bring your hands to come and rest on your front thigh. Now, option to stay right here or option to bend your back knee and try to catch your foot. So maybe you catch your foot with one hand or maybe you catch your foot with both hands. We're just getting a little bit deeper into your left quad and your left hip flexor. It's the front of your hip. Whether you've got the foot or not, try to sit up nice and tall through the torso and keep pressing your hips forward and down. And just breathe here. A few more moments of breath. If you've got your foot, go ahead and release it. Bring your hands down and find a 3-legged dog. Send your right leg up into the air and take another moment here to bend your right knee, open your hip. And then place your right foot back down to the mat, downward facing dog. Bring your gaze forward and walk your feet up towards your fingers for forward fold. We're going to take everything on the opposite side, so send your right leg back long behind you into your lunge. Lower your back knee down to the ground and then bring your body up. You can start by having your hands resting on your front left thigh. You could stay here or you could bend your back knee. Maybe you catch the foot with one hand, or maybe you catch the foot with both hands. If you have any sort of towel or strap, that can be a great way to catch that foot as well. Whichever option you're taking, continue to press the hips forward and continue to stay lifted through your upper torso. Breathe into that length and that space that you're creating all along the front side of your right thigh. Give yourself a few more moments of breath here. And then slowly lower your hands And find three-legged dog. Lift your left leg up into the air and then bend your left knee and open your hip. And then place your left foot back down, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, walk your feet forward once again. And then bend your knees and come all the way down to sit. From your sitting position, bring your feet so they're flat. Bring your hands behind your shoulders. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. Lift your hips. Option to drop your head here, just a great way to open through the front of your body. Now try to lift your right foot up off the ground and then snug your right foot so your right shin comes down to the mat. And then lower your hips down. So you're in kind of this one-legged bent knee position. Keep your hands back behind you and then press your hips up. So we're really focusing just on the right quad here, in the front of the right thigh. Keep pressing your hips up and then gently lower down. Bring yourself back to your reverse tabletop. Take a moment in center and then move this the other way. So lift your left foot and slide it so your left shin, top of the left shin comes down to the ground. Hands are behind your hips. And then from here, when you're ready, press your hips up and you can feel that nice stretch through the front of your left quad. You could drop your head if that feels okay. Breathe here. And then slowly and gently lower your hips back down to the ground. One final moment, find your reverse tabletop. Bring both of your feet so they're flat. Lift your hips up, drop your head. Take a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, lower your hips down to the ground. Swing your legs around and in front of you and come down onto your belly. Bend your knees. Grab for your feet or your ankles. We're coming into a belly down bow pose. Kick your feet or your ankles into your hands and lift your chest and your knees up off the ground. Continue to actively kick to lift your heart a little more, lift your thighs a little bit more. A few more moments of breath here. Try to lift up even higher. And then with control, start to release yourself all the way down. Roll over onto your back. Final moments of breath. Let your legs be long and heavy in front of you. Bring your arms to your side. Allow your eyes to close and take these final moments to come back into your breath. Notice any shifts you may feel in your body. And allow every breath to bring you a little bit heavier into your mat. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.